You're listening to the Teach Better Talk podcast featuring expert educators eager to share progressive tactics to reach more students. Teach Better Talk is created by teachers and fueled by passion. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 187 of Teach Better Talk. My name is Ray Hewart, and as always, I am with my back from vacation friend, Jeff Gargas. Jeff Gargas, when this episode comes out, you'll have been back from vacation from a whole week after being on vacation away from the team for an entire week. So I just want to tell you from the deep bottom of my heart, thank God you're back. You have a lot of work to do.
I believe the second part. I'm not sure if I believe the thank God you're back, but
well, we did miss you putting you at the butt of every joke and stuff like that. Like I had to pick on Chad all week. It was super weird.
It's gotta be tough. When we're recording this is actually like literally this is day one back for me. Yeah. So it's been fun.
I do have to say, there's numerous times when you were out of town that somebody on our team, like Megan or Carrie or Caitlin or Becky, would say something and that I would respond, like they'd have a question and I'd respond to it. And then they'd be like, well, if it doesn't work out, we'll just blame Jeff. And I'm like, I'm so glad I've taught you all the right way to handle a crisis, that if at any point something doesn't go well, just blame Jeff Gargas.
I think one of the things that I enjoyed is that I never fully disconnect. I don't like to disconnect. I just, and I always keep an eye. I'm always paying attention. And I would like comment on something and it would be like, it was clearly like it wasn't working. It was just a comment and I'd get like 4 stop workings, go back to relax and whatever. And I really appreciate that about the team. So
we tried.
I'm excited back though. I enjoy it. We just needed to get the kids away. So we did it all safely, social distancely. It was really my wife. I needed to give her a break away from our normal life here. But I miss it. I miss the team. I miss the work when I go away. So I'm excited to be back. So
and you know the rule, Jeff. You keep Amy happy, and the whole world is happy because Amy is the most generous, loving, sweetest woman on the planet. So you need to spoil her more. I know you do pretty well, to be completely honest, but I'd like you to up your game a little bit more if possible.
I will be better for you, Ray.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, a little birdie told me that you wanted to highlight someone in this episode.
I do.
Let's do that.
Okay. So
are you going to tell me who, or is we just going to?
No, I'm going to leave you in suspense. So the Teach Better team just launched the ambassador program. We got all these applications. We can only accept 20. We do hope to open up applications again. However, the ambassadors that were accepted are just in the midst of kind of getting acclimated with all the things, all the surprises that we have planned for the ambassadors. One of the things today that I was reading through and watching through actually was a Monday challenge that was posed to our ambassadors. And one of our amazing ambassadors specifically talked about how they got connected to the Teach Better team via the Teach Better Talk podcast. So I want to give a shout out to Michelle Casson, who's a part of our Teach Better Ambassador program. And I just love that she said that she was like a podcast junkie and somehow got connected with the Teach Better Talk podcast and really enjoyed it and kind of entered into our family, through that avenue. So if you guys are listening right now and you want to follow her or give her a special shout out because she truly is amazing, a great educator to go connect with. She's located in Oregon and her Twitter handle is Buckeye Girl. So it looks like girl has 2 L's at the end. So BuckeyGirll.
OH, Michelle. OH.
Whatever.
She's an OSU girl. I love it. Yeah, shout out. Michelle's been she came, I can't remember when she actually started popping up all over, but she started popping up all over in our world. And that's super awesome. I did not know it was because of the podcast. So that's great. So hopefully she's listening right now. Michelle, if you're listening right now, I hope you still listen. And you're awesome. And we're super pumped and honored to have you as one of the ambassadors. That's really cool.
Well, I do have to say the challenge for that Megan and Andrea posted the ambassadors today was to share your story of how you connected to the Teach Better team. And it was amazing to see people like commented, but they also recorded videos of them sharing their story, which actually kind of like, it was so enjoyable to watch those. Like it took me back a little bit, like choked me up of how amazing it is that we're forming this virtual family, you know, the Teach Better family. You're, all of you included are, you know, part of our family that are listening. And I loved just reading the stories and watching the videos of people kind of sharing how they came a part of this family. And so her little shout out to Teach Better Talk, I'm like, hey, Jeff, we brought, you know, some cool people into this cool little family. So if you're listening right now, I do want you to enjoy this amazing episode, but if you want to pause it and maybe like tweet out or share in an Instagram story or on Facebook, share out like how you got connected to the team. We'd love to hear your story. I mean, even us, we have different stories of how we got connected to the team. So share those out.
That's super cool. I love that. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing some of those come through. All right. That's really cool. So thank you, Michelle, for being awesome. And I mean, just everyone listening, you're awesome as well. Let's talk about this episode. So Sean Thompson is a educational technology specialist. He's actually at an international school in Tokyo, which was kind of cool because it was like bright. It was like early morning for him when it's nighttime for us. So it was kind of an interesting conversation. Sean travels. He works at the school, but he also travels all over the place. He does speak and present, and obviously not traveled as much during COVID, but does a ton with his YouTube channel and creating content, and sharing and training, and trying to help educators with tech integration and just creativity in general. You're going to hear his passion around creativity just seeps through this entire episode. He's also an Apple Distinguished Educator. He is a let's see what else. He's a Google education trainer, a certified Google educator, and does a whole lot of stuff. And I really love, there's some really sweet one-liners in here, but really towards, first and foremost, you got to listen closely because Sean's got a pretty cool giveaway. He's got a couple giveaways that he does, a bunch of free stuff that you can grab by listening. There's one of them that's time sensitive, so you got to move on it. And then also toward the middle to end of the episode, he shares, he's getting into creativity, and he just kind of gets going, and he just rattles off a whole bunch of really cool, like simple ideas that you can utilize right away to like spark creativity, to like test creativity, and to kind of dive into it. And I really got excited about that. That was really, really cool. So I'm pumped for everyone to listen to this. Ray, anything you want us to pull out of this episode specifically?
You know, there's a lot of good, I was going to note actually a thing you just said, that there's a lot of good, really quick advice pieces that you can go put in action right now. And if we could all be better at that, I think we would really continue to serve our students even better than ever. So take one of his small ideas, go implement it, and make it happen.
Love it. With that, let's get into episode 187 with Sean Thompson.
All right. Hey guys, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Jennifer Apple, who is publishing an amazing children's book with her dog, Maya, if you can believe it. Award-winning Dog is coming out on July 9th, and we are so excited to celebrate with Jen and Maya as this children's book hits Amazon and gets in the hands of children around the country. Check out Award-winning Dog on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. But if I were you, I would go over to awardwinningculture.com because I'm pretty sure there you can order the book and get some free stickers. So go over there, check that out, and a massive congratulations to Jen and Maya on this big accomplishment. Let's get back to the episode.
All right, we are here and we are chatting with Sean Thompson. Sean, super excited to have you on here. You are literally on the other side of the world, coming to us from Tokyo. This is so cool. Super excited to chat with you. It's in the early morning for you there. It's evening for us here. But I'm really pumped to just learn more about you and your story and all the value that you're going to be able to bring to everyone listening. So before we get too far into all of that, man, how are you feeling right now?
Well, it's been a long stretch. Of course, the school was in remote learning for a few months there. I did what everyone does, grew a big beard and tried to stay inside for a while. But on the whole, things in Tokyo are pretty good. Just watching the numbers of things and to try and help the girls here at the school. It's a girls' school. They opened up a summer school, which makes it much easier, of course, to do social distancing measures with that because there's nowhere near as many kids. But yeah, on the whole, I'm feeling pretty good. I'll be honest with you. I got 6 weeks ahead of me. I'm planning on taking a bunch of Adobe courses and just getting more creative myself.
I love that your mission is to take courses and continue to be a learner. Look at that spot on answer right before we even got started. I do want to make sure our listeners kind of learn all about you because they have been connected. They may not be connected to you, but I know we've been connected for a period of time. So would you mind kind of telling our listeners kind of what you do in education? What's your role?
Well, I'll give you two answers there. Of course, my official bio would be putting me as an educational technology specialist. I have been, in the past, worked as a homeroom teacher from kindergarten up to grade 8, and I've taught all different kinds of classes from mathematics to design technology up into the high school level. But to be honest, I love the kids at about grade 2 to grade 6, sort of like in elementary, because that's where I can give them the creativity bug, give them some skills with tools, and have them for a number of years in a row, so I can finally say goodbye to them. They can go and do more stuff when they leave me for the middle school. I've done a lot of other things too. I've done a lot of keynote speaking. I worked as a coach. A lot of the third-party stuff, the ADE and the Google certifications, because that's just a great way to learn new things and to make new connections. But to tell you the truth, I'd like to tell you that I think I help people. I hope that's what I do. As a technology coach, I'm helping kids in class and teachers outside of class planning how to make technology matter in the units and the curriculum that we already have in place. As we know, we're all under fire for time, so why not get creative and learn some skills right alongside the curriculum that is so necessary for us to not just cover, but to get into and unpack deeply. See what else about me. Creativity, imagination, innovation. These are the things I want the kids to get in a habit of doing. They come up to me with a problem and it's like, wow, congratulations, you have a problem. Why don't you go and work on that for a little while and come back to me. We'll talk about the solutions you tried. I do teach, with and about technology, but my biggest goal really is this idea of the kids becoming more independent learners. And the more creative they are, that's really the whole thing about the book that I was lucky enough to publish last January, that creativity is really where we get the greatest satisfaction in our lives. And it's the best way to become active problem solvers.
All right, I'm loving it, Sean. And you mentioned the book, which is awesome because I was going to go right into it now. So I'm hoping you can share the book, Creativity is Everything, Rethinking Technology, Schools, and Humanity. I think I got that correct. Can you share with us, I kind of want like all the pieces of it. So why'd you write the book? Like, where did that come from? Who's it for? What's in it? What can we expect? And then I know, you kind of had and you may be planning to share with us in a different question that we have here, but I know I'm pretty sure you published it on your own as well. It's done extremely well. Can you kind of just share all about the book? Tell us all about this book.
Yeah, happy to. Obviously, it's like my biggest passion project to date, sort of culminating a lot of different things I've been up to. Like all teachers, I got a lot of plates spinning, but this one I kept going long enough to see through, so I was really happy about that. I went through, and as it says in the book itself, I was doing keynotes for these conferences that we were doing for educational technology, all across Asia here. And I just thought, man, these keynotes, like I'm passionate about them and I've written them to get people excited for a weekend of learning. And I want to put it all together and share it out as a book. I mean, I think we all would love to see a book at some point in time, right? So what I ended up doing was every time I sat down, and I'll be honest with you, I tried to write it, and I'm writing, and it feels very official. I'm writing a book, and it just came out all academic, and it bored myself. So obviously I just didn't pursue it. And then one day I picked up a book called Steal Like an Artist from Austin Kleon. And it's this funky little square book, and it's got lots of quotes in it and lots of original artwork and a lot of insight and inspiration. I thought, that's it. This is it. I got my format now. And that was the end of it. I mean, that might be a whole other podcast talking about, publishing. But yeah, I talked to a lot of publishers. I had a couple of yeses that turned into, can you do thises, which I didn't want to do. And in the end, I took kind of a hybrid route. I found a publisher, not a publicist. Not a publicist, not a publisher. And went through and did all the creative work and sort of the hard stuff when it comes to producing the book myself. And they helped me get it out there in people's hands and got really lucky. And in January, February, for a few weeks, we were #1 on Amazon in a bunch of relevant categories, in like Italy and the US and Canada, Australia, the UK, all over the place, which was really rewarding. So that's it. My whole idea in doing it is like, I was excited about the stuff that I had and wanted to share and had been doing in Keynote. So I put it in a book, which really helped me lift up my own sort of creativity game. I have to come in and come up with all that original artwork as well, which is a big thing I'm into right now with trying to help people just develop simple skills. You don't have to be Salvador Dali to get started, right? So that's how that went. And what I'd like to do, if I'm not going too long here, so I would love to make this available for a free download for Kindle for anybody for the 7th and 8th of July.
Oh, Sean, that's awesome, man. I really appreciate you doing that. It's super cool. So I will make sure to put a link in the show notes. So if you're listening right now, you can go get that. Sean generously offering that to us. That'll be on. So if you listen to this on the 6th, when it comes out tomorrow, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, which is 7th, 8th, this will be available for you to do that. So make sure you check the show notes. I'll have that for you there. So that's really, really cool. So Sean, really appreciate that story. Want to continue with the stories here. So one thing we always talk about on this podcast is failures. And I always say that I've been fortunate to fail a lot because I've learned from all of that. I'm wondering if you can share a story about a time that you've had to overcome failure or a challenge. Kind of share with us what happened, how did you overcome that, and what did you take away from that experience?
Whoa, failures! Wow, this could be a whole new book in itself, really. Because I'm with you there. We succeed to the level we're willing to fail, right? So yeah, lots and lots of things. And sorry, I'm not just here to push the book, but that's really the biggest obstacle that I've ever really had to overcome was just pulling my hair out, trying to find a publisher to do something with that, and then just that not coming about, and then having to come up with a sort of like a new idea, to sort of a hybrid model. Other failures I think are, well, it's like I make a lot of things and I give a lot of stuff away for free, but if you're ever trying to get something really out there in big numbers in front of people, that's a challenge. I've studied a lot about marketing now as well, and just anything I think about that I've done and I feel like I've done well, it's been about just exactly what we want from our students, right? It's about resilience and overcoming failure. Right from delivering workshops and how do you get your promotion material in front of people. There's a lot of failure there, and in terms of classrooms, I was speaking not too long ago with a new teacher who had a bad day, and just basically saying, you know what, it's just get used to that. I remember being a kindergarten teacher. This is like even towards the beginning of my teaching career. Maybe it was my second or third year teaching a kindergarten class, and so you develop something, right? And you get this pet class. Oh, this is great. This killed them last year. This is going to be the most creative. I got a provocation, and the kid's going to dive in, and then we're going to have a discussion. They're going to love it, and I'm just going to like sit back and take notes and take pictures and let the kids go crazy till lunchtime. This always works, and then they come back from recess, and I'm excited, and I do everything right, and this group of kids is like, nah, we're not buying it. This is not such a great thing. And just getting the wind taken out of your sails and like, all right, got to pick up, got to keep moving on, right? So there's a lot of different stories about failure. That's, I think, a relevant one as it comes to classroom teaching. Just not giving up and keeping going ahead. So many times, different things like, I mentioned earlier, like the ADE or the Google certifications. There's a lot of these things that are very selective, and it's just don't give up. And the old axiom, you can lose, but don't lose the lesson. There's always some way of getting better, and that's another thing I hope we all get from our students. They get this idea that, I say in class often, it's like, well, don't be afraid of asking me a question. If you knew, I wouldn't need you to be here, because that's kind of the point. You're here to learn things, and that idea, which is really embedded, in the whole makerspace design thinking thing, just that you prototype because it's not going to work. Right, and that's how you're going to learn to make it better.
I love so much of all of that. I really love to get used to it. When you have a bad day, get used to that. And then I love the wrap up of, if you already knew it, I wouldn't have any reason for you to be here in the classroom. So, and I think that's so true. That's such an important lesson for us to instill in ourselves and our students, and to continue going, because that's how we learn, that's how we grow. So I love that. So let's flip it now. Let's talk about a successful moment. This can be something big or something small, but tell us what happened, why was it a success for you, and then what did you take away from that experience?
Geez, I'm just sorry. I'm not umming because I don't want to answer the question. Just the first thing that pops into my head is that book, and I don't want to talk about just that all the time. I think something that I was really proud about at this school was the idea that when people talk about creativity all the time, how can we be more creative in the class and what can we do? And I think just the idea that you want to give the kids the tools, you want to give them sort of the mindsets to be able to do things on their own, and just the willingness of some of the people that I've coached to, I shouldn't say that they're very open to this to begin with. I don't mean to disrespect anybody, but just perhaps I should make it more about conferences that I've led and other things. Just having people go like, wow, really? So just let the kids do things? Just like stand back and see how it goes for a while? I think getting out of that comfort zone of trying to manage or in some cases a tendency to micromanage that some of us have, and just to let it go. And yeah, I mean, I find sometimes if people are always doing walkthroughs in your classes to see how you're doing, administration is part of their job to make sure that we're all doing our very best. And even for me, that's hard. If someone who walks in and I'm sitting there watching the kids do things, waiting to see if anybody needs help, to not like all of a sudden try and grab the reins or do something, because sometimes not doing something is the biggest thing you can do, right? It's another great quote I love. I don't know who said it, but it's like, if the teacher's going home at night tired and the kids aren't, that's a backwards model too, right? So I don't know. I hope I've answered that question for you in a roundabout way.
No, I think that's great. I think there's so many different elements that you continue to share on that resonate so well with me. And even just that last one about making sure that your students are going home exhausted from a day of like epic learning versus the teacher going home exhausted because they feel like they taught all day. It's very, very different feeling. So in terms of everything going on in education right now, everything that you're involved in, obviously a very accomplished author, all of these elements, what's really keeping you excited right now about education and what you're doing?
Well, you may recall we were going to have this a while back. So I had some answers for that, which are still relevant, but not as exciting. Before everything sort of went upside down this year with schools, we had really started jumping on the bandwagon for trying to really tackle learning analytics for data visualization, and that was really I was really excited about that, and I am quite a bit still, though I got to say not as many teachers are as excited about it. I did a workshop for this online platform last week, and everyone wanted to know about remote learning for young learners, but when it came to like, now I can show you this dashboard where you can interactively filter all of the results from a wellness survey that we produced, and you can just really, and I can show you how to hone in on which students you might want to appoint a counselor at, or you can have the counselor have access to this dashboard. It's basically, it's called Google Data Studio. So anything you can get in a spreadsheet, and if you know anything about spreadsheets and data manipulation, you can get it all in one place. And with Google Data Studio, it's kind of like a web page, but you can add these filters to it, and you can cross-reference, and you can just get any sort of data visualized that you could possibly imagine in a way that makes sense for you and your teachers. So that's something that I was really excited about a few months ago before it sort of fell by the wayside, because obviously trying to manage remote learning takes up everybody's energy and everybody's focus. I was really excited about that, and I'm looking forward to getting back to that. Again, with the links and things we share, I was meant to be going to Bangkok for an East Asia Regional Council of Schools conference in March, I think it was. So, I'm me, and I'm crazy for sharing. So I don't just prepare for, a 1 hour or whatever it was, an hour and a half session teaching people about data. I made a whole website, and on every page you could literally, I'll share the link with you, you could literally go there and you could spend a few days learning about data, from simple strategies using spreadsheets as a teacher in a classroom, all the way down to just kind of a glimpse of like, here's what Google Data Studio can do for a class. I got a friend who's, I swear, Wesley Probilski is his name. And remember, it's a hard name to say, but you should remember it. I swear to God, this guy is going to be a name when it comes to learning analytics and data visualization for schools. The things he does is just amazing. I mean, I thought I was pretty good, and this guy is just incredible. But what I'm always excited about, and shall always be excited about, is the creativity bug and about getting kids excited about doing things. Like I just have this silly little 50-minute class in the afternoon here, and once again, I hate to say it again, but I'm me. I don't know. An OCD. It's not a brag. It's probably a failing, but I don't just make something. So I had this tiny little class, 50 minutes a day. So I've actually made this like monstrous course on Teachable about how to use public domain materials. In this case, there was an old lady who swallowed a fly, and make a completely original movie, animated movie out of it with an original soundtrack. I apologize. It is me, quote unquote, singing on it. And the kids come in early and they don't want to leave when they're done. So yeah, creativity. And sorry, Jeff, just to go back, I think maybe I can answer your question a little more directly about the success. And it's a success about curriculum here at the school and with the teachers that I work with. And that's just the idea of, like I mentioned earlier, like starting somewhere and building up with the kids, not just skill sets, but mindsets as well. And one thing we've done really well with the curriculum we've been developing over the last number of years is like just slowly jumping in. Like the very first thing I actually have grade 2 kids do when they first get access to Mac Airs here at the school is they actually make like a Creative Commons licensed image. What do we call it? The personal heritage videos. So it's the whole deal. They learn about Creative Commons, they download the pictures, they learn how to store their files, they put them in iMovie, they mix them up, they put in the titles and all the transitions, they make sure all the timings match, they add, one of their the free background tracks you can get in there and produce a video right in grade 2. So the kids can do it and they're excited about it. It's a challenge, but if you're having fun, the challenge adds to the fun, right? And you can start small. Like this is one thing I would say, if we're going to talk about like new teachers and advice again, just make creativity a part of what you're doing. Let the kids pitch something, because sometimes they might have a great idea that you're going to adopt yourself for the next year. Like just to give you a really quick idea of using sort of digital tools for things like this, you can start off teaching kids vector graphics. They're just shapes on shapes that make a picture. And then you can animate them. And then you can make them into posters, or then you could put them in a presentation so you can learn more communication skills. You can put it into an ebook. There's Book Creator. I actually produced, my daughter used to come to the school, and so we had Mystery Reader Day. I'd actually make a book in Keynote, and then I would just put the pictures in photos in a Mac, and I would actually order a book, and I would read that book to them. Like, this is what I'm crazy for, right? Make your own stuff. Sorry, I'm on a tangent here. Hope you let me go. Every year, my mom gets a new hoodie from me. I made her one this year. It's a Granny Wolverine. So it looks like an old granny with like, the claws, and she's got like a ball of wool. Make your own stuff. Why not? We used to, I think we have this problem with this sort of like American idolization of creativity. You don't have to be, Celine Dion to sing. It's fun to sing. It's a good, healthy thing for you to do. You don't have to be the best at anything. Just embrace it, do it, make things, make some animations, start a podcast, make a video, use a green screen. The grade 1s here, we have them doing the news, GarageBand, a few loops. It's not rocket science, it's cool. Look, I made a song. I'm gonna cut myself off here so you don't have to.
No, Sean, this is awesome. You can like just feel the reverb of your passion pouring through this right now, and I love it. And you said, I hope you let me go. And I'm like, heck yeah, dude, keep going. Because you were just laying out example after example. I hope if you're listening right now that you click back, do the 15-second back a couple of times and catch all those examples that Sean just threw out at you. If you're struggling with like breaking through that creativity wall, Sean just gave you like 15 different ideas that are simple things that you can start with. And then furthermore, he gave you permission to not have to worry about whether you're good or great at it. Just do it. And I think that's one of the most important things you said is that you said it in the form, you don't have to be Celine Dion to sing, right? You don't have to be this amazing graphic artist, this amazing videographer or editor to do it. Just do it, because that's how you get there, first off. But also just do it, because why not? You don't know what you're good at. You don't know what it is. So I love it, man. I love that message so much. So let's have a little bit of fun here. Not that, we're already having fun, but let's have some more fun. We're going to do the next 6 questions. I'm going to throw them at you. Your goal is to answer each one in 15 seconds or less. You ready?
I'll do my best. Let's go.
All right. What is one EdTech tool you cannot live without?
It's stupid to say my Mac, because Keynote. If I had to pick one application, Keynote. I swear to God, I do everything in Keynote.
Give us a book that you're reading right now.
Okay. What was I picked up the other day? I'm actually in the middle of two. I'm reading Oryx and Crake from Margaret Atwood and Outliers from Malcolm Gladwell.
Who do we need to follow on social media today?
Social media today. You need to check out the Tech Rabbi. He's a super great guy. He's written a book called I've forgotten the name. Understanding by Design, Educated by Design. Really good book. Author was kind enough to even talk to me when I was after he first published, and I was getting myself geared up.
What's a good YouTube channel or website for educators?
Well, if you're interested in Python programming, one of my colleagues has a YouTube channel just called Christian Thompson, I believe that's his name. But it's made for high school kids. It's really good, really comprehensive, and really easy to follow. And of course, there is the Digital Creativity YouTube channel, which is mine and full of free stuff all the time. You don't want to miss that.
Give us a daily, weekly, or monthly routine you think every teacher should get into.
It's super hard. We're teachers. We're busy. We're really put upon, especially right now. Learn something new. And I think every teacher has done that since remote learning has started. I mean, I'm a tech integrator, and I've learned things. So I think keep that going. I think we have a chance here to maybe get into more of a blended learning model where you can utilize tech tools that you've been afraid to or not had time to really pick up yet and polish, but you've started things that you can continue going. So that whole learning curve thing, always try to fit in something new and get creativity involved. Engage it, and you'll engage your students.
And what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I'll probably remember it better if I listen to advice better. Sorry. All right, how about something, a quote, again from the book. It doesn't matter what you can do. If you're not happy, you fail.
Oh, I love that.
So awesome. I think that's so good. I have gotten so many really great quotes and takeaways, Sean. I want to make sure our listeners can stay connected to you. Do you mind kind of sharing what platforms you use, how people can stay connected and continue this conversation?
Absolutely. I am at Sean Sensei, SEANSEI on Twitter. Make comments on the Digital Creativity Club YouTube channel. There will be links on the page for this. I've got like a whole creativity course. In fact, here's something that I just finished doing. I've put up a creativity challenge. So I've made some of my courses free. Most of them are Mac based, not all, but it's definitely, be aware they're a little bit Mac inclined. But my challenge for the summer creativity challenge is that I wanted people to take one of those courses. And with that, you also get a free PDF copy of the book, not the downloadable Kindle, which I can only do sometimes. Make some things and start sharing some things out, and I can always be reached through there as well.
That's awesome. And actually, right before we got on, I actually watched a video. We talked about that challenge, so I'm super excited for people to share that. Did you have something else? I'm sorry, I think I cut you off there.
Well, that's okay. I'm not exactly sure what you cut off. Yeah, I think I was just going to throw in, LinkedIn, of course, as well. And I've got a blog, and I've got the giveitaway.net is a technology integrator website full of other free goodies as well. Sorry, I feel like I cut you off.
No, you are fine. It was all awesome stuff. I will make sure that that's all over in there. So, listen, and all the links and all the resources, everything we've mentioned in this episode are over at teachbetter.com, as well as all those really important links for connecting with Sean, keeping the conversation going, getting all the freebies he's got over there, all those videos on his YouTube, to get into that challenge, to make sure you get the copy of his book free, by the way, free. On Kindle there. So make sure you head over to teachbetter.com for all of that. Be sure to hit subscribe to miss any upcoming episodes. And if you can give us a rating and review, we'd really appreciate that as well. And let's keep taking this one step further. Think of just 3 of your colleagues who need to hear these amazing stories and connect with these amazing educators, and share this podcast with them. Sean, this has been an incredible episode. There was so much value in here. I mean, just so many little nuggets and so many one-liners that you threw that I just loved, and so much value that you offer everyone on a daily basis, including our audience here. I really, really appreciate, man, for coming on, taking some time and hanging out with us. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. As you probably picked up, I love talking about this stuff. And I would like to throw it. I've since I came across you guys and talked to Ray some time ago, I've been nosing around and all the wonderful things you're doing as well. So keep up the great work.
Well, I appreciate that a whole lot, Sean. And until next time, let's get out there and let's teach better.